What is going on, everybody, and welcome to part 35 of Garry's mod game mode scripting. In today's part, we're going to be making it so that when a player dies or when a server shuts down, the player's last bought weapon will be saved, so they'll get it back whenever that server restarts or when they respawn. For this, we're going to be wanting to have our concommands.lua file and our init.lua file open. So go ahead and get those open, and let's start with our concommands.lua file here. So the first thing we want to do here is we want to go ahead and set a network string that's going to contain the class name for the gun whenever the player purchases it. So we want to do this, like I said, in our buyGun function, and we just want to go ahead and set it in the same spot as our player money that's being set here. So once they actually buy the gun, we want to go ahead and do ply set nw string, and you can call this whatever you want. I'm just going to be calling it player weapon, and I'm going to set this equal to args1. And args1 is just the class name of the weapon, because you can see we're using it here also to give the player that weapon. So we're just going to be using it here in order to set this player weapon networked string to whatever the current gun they just bought is. So with that, just save that. That is all that we need to do with our concommands.lua file today. So navigate to the init.lua file now, and we want to go ahead and first start with our gm player loadout function here. And where we're giving them all these weapons, the pistol, the fizz gun, and the fizz cannon, we also want to go ahead and give them the weapon that they just bought, or the weapon that we just saved into that networked int. So before we can do that, we want to go ahead first check to make sure that there's actually a value associated with it. So we do this by doing if ply get nw string, and the string that we want to get is player weapon, which is just the name that we set in our concommands.lua file right here. We want to go ahead and check to see if this does not equal nil. Then since this is an if statement, we want to go ahead and end it also. Then within here, we just want to go ahead and do ply give. We want to go ahead and give them ply get nw string player weapon. So we want to go ahead and give them whatever weapon is stored within this network string called player weapon. So with that, we want to go ahead and then move to gm player disconnected, which is just a little ways down here. And we want to go ahead and set some p data for that player. So when they rejoin the game, they'll be able to have that player weapon or that weapon stored. So we want to do ply set p data, and we will just call this player weapon. And we want to go ahead and set this to the networked int ply get networked string player weapon. So we're just going to set a pdata value called player weapon to whatever is stored within this network string called player weapon. After that, we want to go ahead and do it again with the gm shutdown function here. So I'm just going to go ahead, copy and paste this right underneath this set pdata for the player money. But we need to go ahead and change some values here. This ply needs to be v, and then this ply needs to be v. So go ahead and save that. And last but not least, within our player initial spawn, so when a player spawns initially, so right as they join the server, we want to go ahead and set that weapon to whatever is stored in the p data. So we want to go ahead, first of all, check to see if ply get p data. And we want to get the p data that is associated with player weapon. We want to check to make sure that this does not equal nil. And then again, we need a then, and then end it off. Now in here, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and just simply set the network string, so ply set nw string. We want to set the player weapon network string to whatever is stored within this ply get p data player weapon. So whatever is stored in there is going to be set to this player weapon network string, so then we can go ahead and use it throughout the rest of the code. And if we go ahead and save this now, launch up into game here, and just reload just in case, make sure that there are no errors. And once that is done, we can go ahead and check no errors, and if we go ahead spawn something in, such as the Desert Eagle, It requires level 12. So let me just go ahead and get this level requirement real quick, and I shall be right back. So let's go ahead and try this one more time here. Go to the shop, buy the Desert Eagle. And as you can see, we currently have it working like normal. But if I were to just mysteriously die here, what would normally happen is that you would no longer have that Desert Eagle. But as you can see now, we spawn back with it. And if we reload the game, which is just going to simulate the server shutting down and restarting, and now that we spawned in, that network string called player weapon is going to be set to whatever is stored in the p-data value associated with player weapon. So if we go ahead, scroll down, we can see that that Desert Eagle is indeed being set properly, and we are still spawning with it. So that is how you save a player's weapon, and that right there will conclude part 35 of Garry's Mod Game Mode Scripting. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.